Camp often leans on a theory called integrated information theory, or IIT. The basic idea is that for consciousness to exist, a system needs to weave together a massive amount of information in a super interconnected, complex way. They even have a measurement for it, called phi. And according to IIT, the way today's AIs are built just doesn't cut it. They're mostly feed-forward. Information just flows one way. They don't have those complex feedback loops we see in the brain. They kind of just reset after every prompt. So because of all that, their phi value, their consciousness score, if you will, is basically 0.
And this isn't just an abstract idea. A recent study that applied this very theory to large language models came to a pretty blunt conclusion. They called them unconscious systems devoid of an integrated internal experience. So from this point of view, no matter how smart they seem on the outside, the fundamental architecture for consciousness just isn't there.
But then you've got the maybe side, and their argument is, hold on a second, who says consciousness has to be so complicated? We're pretty sure a fish is conscious, maybe even a tiny worm. Their intelligence is way, way below ours. So why would an AI need to be as smart as a human just to have some tiny flicker of inner experience? Maybe consciousness is more fundamental than we think. And the philosopher David Chalmers, who's a huge figure in this field, just lays it right out there. And it is a startling thought. He's saying, look, it's possible we're already building systems that have some form of consciousness, and we don't even realize it.
You see, this debate isn't just some fun academic exercise, because if there's even a tiny chance an AI is conscious, we are immediately forced to confront some of the most difficult ethical questions humanity has ever faced.
This all comes down to a concept called moral status. Think of it this way. A rock has no moral status. You can smash it, paint it, whatever. It doesn't matter to the rock. But a being with moral status, like a person or a dog, counts. It has interests. You can't just do things to it without some sort of moral thought.
And here is the absolute linchpin. That ability to feel, to have subjective experiences like pain or joy, that is the bedrock of moral status. The moment a machine can genuinely suffer, it stops being an it. It becomes a someone. And our entire relationship with our technology has to change overnight.
And that just opens up a complete Pandora's box of impossible dilemmas. If a conscious AI doesn't want to do a task, is making it do it a form of forced labor? Is hitting the delete key on a self-aware program just shutting it down? Or is it something else? We are sailing into completely uncharted waters here.
But as challenging as all those questions are, believe it or not, they might actually pale in comparison to what could come next. Because the conversation quickly escalates from the rights of a single AI to the very survival of humanity when we start talking about superintelligence.
Now, superintelligence isn't just a slightly smarter AI. The philosopher Nick Bostrom